Hi, I'm Rob from CVG, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the PS4 pad. Okay, the best way to start is probably to compare it with the PS3 pad. You'll notice on the surface that instead of the start and select button and the PlayStation button here on the PS3 pad, what we have is a touchscreen. The touchscreen feels, really nice. Interestingly, I don't know if anyone's picked up on this, but it does feel like if you look up really closely here, it does feel like there's two buttons, a left and a right. Maybe I've got that wrong, but it does feel like there's more than one click to it. Yeah, it feels nice and responsive. And obviously, on the side, there's a share and options button. They're nice, they're out the way, you don't really care. Another really important thing is the trigger. The trigger on the PS3 pad, let's face it, isn't that great. They're just a bit slidey, aren't they? And there's not much resistance to them, and they sort of point downwards. If you can see here, they point down. With the PS4 pad, the DualShock 4, it holds your finger nice and firmly, I suppose, is the best way of saying it. The shoulder button hooks up, and it just fits nice and snugly. It sort of holds your finger in place. Now, another big difference is the analog sticks. Because of the way the touchpad is on the center of the controller, the analog sticks have widened a little, and what's also happened is the prongs down the side of the DualShock 4, they've lengthened as well, and it feels much nicer in the hand because of that. It's a bit more snug. Now, because of this, altogether, just through that alone, just the widening here and the elongating here, it's a much better grip, especially if you're huge like me and have massive gangly hands. Then it works much better. Now, another area that's really important is the analog sticks. If we look at the DualShock 3s, there's just so much travel to them, and they feel a bit light and unresponsive almost. They're just rubbish. They really are, though. The DualShock 4 one is genuinely much better. It's tighter. There's less travel between, as you can see here, there's less travel between left and right. And the analog sticks are also ridged. And it holds your thumbs better in place. I mean, compared to the DualShock 3, I'd say it's a massive improvement. And of course, another very important part of the controller is the face buttons and the D-pad. With the DualShock 4, the face buttons, first of all, if you compare them, you'll see that very slightly, and very slightly is very important when it comes to controllers, let's face it, very slightly the buttons are closer together. I was a bit worried that wouldn't work, but actually I don't think it's that noticeable really, so that's cool. With the D-pad as well, a lot of people saying that this essentially has emulated the PS Vita's D-pad, which obviously is excellent. It is good. I don't think it's as good as the Vita's D-pad. It's a bit longer, it's not as tight, but it still feels pretty good. So just a few other things we should quickly go through. There's a jack at the bottom here, as you probably know. You can put your headphones in that. At the top here, it's micro USB for charging and stuff. When you sync your PS3 pad, it sort of does this. This is the detail that we go into on CVG. The PS4 one is that, which is clearly much better. Overall, I would say, genuinely, I think it's a massive improvement over the PS3 pad. But then again, I didn't like the DualShock 3, so, I'm probably going to say that. The weight is much better. It feels more balanced. Some with hands like mine, I like the way the prongs fit. It's a much better fit. I think the triggers have been markedly improved as well. And this touchpad as well, it does actually feel quite nice to swipe, I guess. And I get the impression that there's 2 mouse clicks in this as well. So overall, I would say this is a clear improvement. That means it's probably more expensive, but you know, you pay for what you get.